In the period between around 800 and 1050 AD, there was an extraordinary expansion from the Viking homelands of what today are Denmark, Norway and Sweden to span 4 continents, from North America across to Central Asia, from the Arctic Circle down to North Africa. And what made this expansion possible was the Viking ships. The ship behind me is Roskilde 6. It's the largest Viking warship found to date, over 37 metres long. This was designed for use in war. It's a self-propelled troop carrier with a crew of around 100 men. Other ships were designed as cargo ships or for long-distance sea voyages. There wasn't one type of ship any more than there was one type of Viking. The Vikings loved gold and silver. The exhibition is full of splendid items in precious metal, and the Vikings loved to show off just how wealthy they were. But they used it for relatively everyday items as well. For example, this is an ear scoop. It's there for getting wax out of your ears. So for the wealthy Viking lady, even an ordinary object like this required solid gold. These swords all carry the maker's name Ulfbert on the blade. It's an early example, effectively, of corporate branding, and swords like these are found all over the Viking world. Some are exceptionally good, that explains why they were so popular, but others are really badly made. It seems likely they're just cheap copies, like a modern fake Rolex watch or a Louis Vuitton handbag. So branding and brand theft are nothing new. The Vikings got there first. When people talk about the Vikings, one of the big debates is always, were they violent raiders or peaceful traders? Well, one of the most common forms of Viking trade was the slave trade, as demonstrated by this slave collar here. When you're talking about slaving, it's not one thing or the other. They raided to get the slaves, and then they traded them on. This is one of my favourite items in the exhibition. I've been working with this ever since it was found in 2004. It's a Viking hoard of gold and silver from Yorkshire, buried around the year 930. And it's the whole Viking world in one cup. We have objects from as far west as the Irish Sea, then Britain, the Frankish kingdoms on the continent, Scandinavia, Russia, and even as far east as Afghanistan and Uzbekistan with these Islamic coins. So it brings the whole Viking world together. I hope you've enjoyed this little tour of the Viking exhibition, but please do come and see the BP exhibition Vikings Life and Legend at the British Museum.